Before we get started, I just want to show you two different customized magnet pieces. And see, this one has all those cutouts, which we would have to install it differently from this one, which I'll show you two different ways to install them. Alright, this time we're going to install our customized magnetic hardware with the cutout piece. Well, first what you need to do is prepare your slip pocket as per your pattern. So I went ahead and did that. And so your front slip pocket, your slip pocket lining, and your main piece. Those are the pieces you need. You can set the main piece aside and take your customized magnet piece and turn it over and remove those screws in the back. Once you remove the screws in the back, take your back piece with the flat side facing up, set it in the middle where you want your customized magnet placed. In this case, I want it placed like that, so once it's installed, it'll look like this. So make sure before you mark your screw holes, this piece is the flat side and this is the back side. So flat side facing up. Once you have it aligned, mark your screw holes, not the ones for the prongs, just the screws. In this case, this customized magnetic piece only has 2 screws, so I'll mark those 2. And once those are marked, I would go ahead and punch those 2 holes all the way through the lining. Once you punch those through the lining, place your backside piece this time, and on this one, mark the prong slits over here. And then once you've marked them, you will go ahead and cut those tiny slits, but just through the lining. Do not cut those slits with the front slip pocket, just through the lining piece. Okay, grab your male piece of the magnet and put it through the back piece of your customized magnet piece and put it through those holes like that, and make sure the screw holes are aligned. Turn it over, cut out a piece of Decovil heavy or Decovil light to stabilize your prongs. Okay, place your stabilizer through your prongs and make sure your stabilizer doesn't cover the holes that you punched out, because if you cover those, and once we're installing the front piece of it, it'll cover those holes and we won't be able to see it from these 2 holes on the front. So make sure your stabilizer doesn't cover the screw holes. Once that one is done, you can go ahead and close this out. Okay, once these are closed out, as you can see, we only did it through the lining piece, unlike the other solid one. This one, we punched it all the way through the main piece and the lining piece. But this one, since I mentioned it has those little cutouts, you want to attach the back piece only on the lining piece, so these prongs won't show in the front once you install your front main piece like this. Because if you do that, it'll show your prongs right here on these cutouts. Okay, once your back piece in this is installed, take your main front piece of your customized magnet and align these little I'm not sure what you call them, these ones, align those to the holes that you punched out like this, and turn it over. Is it a line there? Turn it over, and let me just push it in a little bit. Okay, now we attach the front to your main slip pocket. Turn it over, and now align your back piece through that hole, and we are almost done. Before you attach your screw, put a little bit of super glue in those holes to secure your tiny screws, and screw your tiny screws in there. Okay, now we're going to install the female piece to your main fabric, vinyl, or canvas like this. So once it's done, it'll look like this with this female piece under. We can go ahead and attach it like that. So first, what I need to do is this is how I do it, but I'm sure there are other ways to properly install the female piece, but for me, this is my shortcut way to do it. So what I do is I align all the pieces, and I just put a little bit of firm pressure. Make sure your pieces doesn't shift. So I just put a firm pressure in there, and once that's done, lift it a little bit. Once I lift it, normally you'll see a little dent or mark from where you push this side through your fabric or to your vinyl. If that one doesn't work, sometimes what I do is I take my either highlighter or my erasable marking pen, and I just go like this, do a little bit of dab in there to that little male piece, and then once that one's done, I align my pieces and then put a little bit of pressure, and once that one is done, lift it up, and there it is. There goes my mark for my female piece installation. Once you have that mark, take your washer. Take your washer, mark those 2 lines there. Okay, once you mark them, go ahead and cut out those little slits, and take your female piece and put it through those slits like this. Turn it over. Usually put a piece of stabilizer against my main piece, and then once that piece is there, that's when I put the washer in, and close the prongs. Once those prongs are in, I usually just hammer it a little bit. Once it's hammered in, I will go ahead and put a little piece of duct tape to cover those sharp prongs. Okay, here you go. Place a little bit of duct tape there so the prongs won't scratch your piece. Once that one's done, turn it over, and you're ready to finish your bag.